آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and the blessings of God Almighty be with you. And welcome, my dear friends, to the teachings of Islam once again with your host, Khalil Cave. And as always, it's a pleasure for me to be here with you and to share my knowledge and experiences as a Muslim. It's been a while since I've been here with you due to different circumstances. However, we spoke the last time about the Sharia, the laws of Islam. And since this subject area is very vast, I actually want to continue expounding on this subject area. Many of my friends out there, many of you have been approaching me and asking questions about the Sharia, about Islam. And as I continue to encourage you to come out and get to know more about Islam, ask more questions as you would like to. I also want to urge you to, on your own, do your own research and your reading to confirm what I'm saying, so that you would not think that I'm here to candy coat this noble way of life. Because a lot of times people actually think that what I'm saying sounds too good to be true, because in the media there's so much of wrong things being spoken about Islam. So whenever I speak and I share my knowledge with you about Islam, people come out and say, how does this sound so different from what we've seen in the media and from what other knowledgeable persons in Islam are talking about? So I just want to say that, throw that challenge to you, that do your own research, look carefully into the knowledge that is there to be offered in Islam, and see if it corresponds with what I'm saying. Just so that you see for yourself that this image that is being put out there about Islam, this bad image, it is actually not Islam. And as I often say to people, this is Mislam. So we are here to share the true knowledge of Islam with you. We're not here to candy coat anything. We're not here to distort any aspect of Islam to make it look beautiful in your eyes so that you can just swallow it. No, that's not the purpose of this program. As I've always been saying to you, that part of what I'm doing here is just to create awareness and to create some thirst in you for knowledge. But the onus is on you also to actually go out there and seek your own knowledge, seek knowledge on your own, put your time and energy into learning. In the Arabic language, there is a saying that goes, "Talab as-su'alu nisful ilm," that seeking is half of knowledge. Asking questions is half of knowledge. Simply because there are many things in life that you can learn by someone teaching you without you asking. But many things that you would actually learn in life would stem from you asking questions. And growing up as a child, you would remember many instances where you didn't know something and you asked your father or your mother about it, and they were able to teach you about it. And there are also many things that you would have learned through experiences, through your own intellectual abilities. So it's a partnership basically. We are here to help you to understand and to learn, but in all fairness, you also have to have that drive and that zeal for knowledge. Anyhow, in today's topic, I want to just share with you the Sharia's perspective, or the Islamic perspective, regarding leadership, be it in the home or be it in a broader sense. This topic today actually stems from a discussion that I had with one of my friends a few days back. We were discussing leadership and, the whole scenario with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And, obviously, in Islam, many people shy away from this topic because Muslims I'm talking about, they shy away from this topic because they fear being called chauvinistic or sexist or whatever, Now, in Islam, we ought to not compromise with the commands of God Almighty as given to us in the Quran and taught to us by the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace. But at the same time, we should not, take somewhat of a dogmatic position when dealing with matters of general importance. So, one of my friends recently, he and I had a discussion. We actually had some discussion over tea, and he's not a Muslim, by the way. So he asked me for my opinion with regards to leadership in the home. So I explained to him that, in Islam, a man is the leader of the home, meaning a husband is the leader of the home. So his take on that was actually contrary to what I was saying. He was saying that he doesn't think that there should be this position, or a person should say that a man by default is the leader of a home, and it should be something that should be spread across the male and female, meaning the husband and the wife. So this whole discussion went on for a long time. So that's why I thought that it would be very befitting for me to share this aspect of Islam with you. Now, I know many of you out there, obviously you're Christians, and growing up around Christians, even though I grew up in a Muslim home, I've heard so many times my Christian friends and neighbors talking about the male or the man being the head of the home, which tells me one simple thing, that accepting that a man or the husband is the head of the home is something that exists even within Christianity. So unless you are prepared to reject that part or that aspect of the Bible, then there shouldn't be much of a fight, or there shouldn't be much of an argument between Muslims and Christians in this regard. But just in case a person is not a strict follower of the Bible, and he may want to dispute whether the man or the husband is the head of the home or not, then me explaining to you the Islamic position might help you to think differently. So the Holy Quran, my dear friends, it is very precise with regards to the roles, the role of the husband and the role of the wife. But let's begin with looking at the role of the husband or the male figure in the home. The Holy Quran says, "Ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa," which is in Arabic basically, but in English it means that men are the upkeepers and protectors of women. Men are the upkeepers and the protectors of women. So this statement or this verse of the Holy Quran establishes very clearly what the role of the male or the husband in the home really is. That his role in the home is not as an oppressor or a dictator, or his role in the home is not about being superior because of his gender, or being in charge and just delegating duties to everyone else. No, this is not the role of a man or a husband in a home. But his role rather is to uphold and protect. His role is a very big responsibility. Now, in the same discussion with my friend, I was asking him, I said, if there was this violent bang on the door, if there was this really violent bang on the door, and you were at home with your wife, since you don't think that you're the leader of the home, neither do you want to take the responsibility of being the leader of the home. When you hear that bang, that violent bang on the door, would you sit down with your wife and have a discussion and draw lots or come to some other form of a resolution and say, okay, I went the last time, you go now. Or the last time there was something alarming as this, I went, so you should, it's your turn to go. Because none of us, is the leader, or the leadership role in the home, it alternates. So you go now, I went the last time. Are you going to do this? So he said, no, I wouldn't do this. I would, try my very best to protect my family, my kids, my wife. I would try my very best to go and, investigate to see where this noise is coming from. If it's, someone calling out for help, or it's some intruder trying to get into the home or whatever. So I said, there you go, whether you know it or not, or whether you want to accept it or not, inherently it is something that a man should do. It is something that you are made for, that you are built for by God Almighty. As the Holy Quran also states in another verse, لَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, that a man is not the same as a woman. There are distinct characteristics and qualities, between man and woman, between male and female. So instinctively, a man was made, he was built to be the protector, the provider for his family. So you wouldn't just send your woman folk to the door to investigate and to see what noise is that. You wouldn't do that. You would try your very best to protect your wife and your kids. So the very fact that, or the mere fact that the man would actually go to the door to investigate, tells you that you ought to be the leader by way of being a protector over your family. But unfortunately, sometimes when you speak like this, people become very offended. They say, you're just, a sexist. You think that, or you're a chauvinistic. You think that, your gender is, the male gender is better than the female gender, and these things, which is very, very sad. Because Islam teaches us, be it male or female, there are rules. However, a man should take the lead in fulfilling responsibilities for his family. A man should take the lead in taking care and upholding and protecting his family. A man should take the lead in ensuring that the well-being of his family is always secured. And it's sad that we look around in society today, and with all this talk about about Islam being so chauvinistic and blah blah, when we look at society today, it's in a mess, because the men, they themselves don't want to take responsibilities. You find so many single parent mothers. Where is this guy that impregnated this young lady? Where is the man where is this father? He just drops his responsibility and he just walks out on his family and goes his way. And this is why we find so many, of our sisters now, they have to fend for themselves and their kids. Because the man who should, pick up his responsibilities, accept his role, embrace his position as the leader of a home, and seek good for his family, secure the well-being of his family, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want those rules. He doesn't want those responsibilities. So the father does this. The son is growing up and he's seen that, my dad walked out on us. He never took care of me. So that responsibility, that sense of leadership that should be taught by the father to the son, it is not there. So the son grows up now and he also turns out to be just another man who inflicts upon society this evil trend of walking out upon a woman, ill-treating a woman, not taking responsibilities for his kids, etc. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, he says ألا كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. That behold, each and every one of you is like a shepherd over a flock. Each and every one of you, be it male or female, has responsibilities. The Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, says that الرجل مسؤول عن رعيته. That a man is responsible for his household, be it the wife alone, or if there are no kids, or if he has children, then he is responsible for the upkeeping of his wife and children. He is responsible for the protection and safeguarding the well-being of his wife and children. And the Prophet goes on to say, وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. On the day of judgment, each and every person within that setting that was given the responsibility, he will be questioned. He will be held responsible for his responsibilities. Now, obviously, if a man takes up his responsibilities that were given to him by God Almighty for his family, then he will be rewarded. He will be blessed. He'll be honored on the day of judgment. However, if he just walks away calmly from his responsibilities, never even tried to uphold the responsibilities that were given to him, then he'll be answerable to God Almighty. And according to the teachings of Islam, in this world, it may look like, he's free as a bird to roam and to do as he likes, but on the day of judgment, he will be punished for that. So all of those men out there that are walking away from their families, that are not taking responsibilities for their kids, according to the teachings of Islam, on the day of judgment, you will be held responsible and you will be punished. In this world, it looks like, I'm free, I'm single and free. I refuse to take the responsibilities, that this woman and her kids bring. But my dear friends, this is just for this world. Your freedom is going to last only in this world. In the next world, when you die and you are resurrected and have to stand before God Almighty on the day of judgment, you will be taken to task. So, the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, goes on to say also that a woman, she is also like a shepherd. In a home, it is not that the man is, he's just like the leader and he just does whatever he wants to do and no one can contest or question his actions. And that's it. The wife is just handed a list of commands and duties, and she has to cook and all of these things, and that's it. No, this is not how it works in Islam. A woman also has a role, and a very, very critical role in the home. That the husband is the overall leader and the caretaker and the protector of the family, but the wife also, she is the teacher. She's the educator in the home. This is why in Islam, we consider the very first school as being the lap of the mother. The mother is she is the one that affords a child the best of manners, the best of etiquettes, the best of behavior. The mother is the one that was gifted by God Almighty with such motherly instincts and such compassionate ways that she is the most befitting person to impart upon this child now good manners and good values. And it's not a role that is just given to her because, she has nothing else to do, so just do it. No. A woman is given these responsibilities by God Almighty according to Islam because God Almighty made her in that way, with such motherly instincts, with such compassionate ways. How many times have you seen a father, because his son is on drugs or he's a thief or he's something, he just walks away and just never cares, never looks back at that son, because that son, he's a recalcitrant, he doesn't have any manners, he's always in jail, he's hooked on drugs, so I just disown him. How many times haven't we seen this? It's something that is very usual. It's a very common thing within our society. Father disowning a child because of his bad ways or her bad ways. But how often would you have seen a mother doing this? How often would you have seen a mother disowning a daughter or a son? It's very, very rare that you would actually find a mother doing this. No matter how bad a child is, a mother would always reach out to that child with compassion, with love, with care, etc. Why is this so? What's different about the father and the mother? God Almighty, my dear friends, He built a woman with such a soft and kind heart and such a compassionate heart that the husband doesn't possess this, or a man cannot possess this. A man cannot take up the same role as a woman in caring for a child. But unfortunately, my dear friends, we see this strange practice today of women handing their responsibilities to the daycare, for example, or a stranger, who already has her own kids to tend to. And this is very, very sad. We see this throughout society, that women actually give up that responsibility of nurturing their children. And mind you, when a woman nurtures her child, the bond between that mother and that child is even stronger. But when you just shove your child into the hands of someone at the daycare, and this child grows up now, do you expect that bond that should be between a mother and a child would be strong? It's kind of impossible to think that a child that is nurtured by a mother all the way to puberty and adulthood, this child would be the same, or this child would have the same values and qualities like a child that was placed in a daycare or some preschool until, whenever. It's hard to imagine that the outcome or the products would be the same. This is why Islam focuses a lot on a mother taking that role and responsibility of being the teacher, the first teacher of that child. And not to just teach ABC, but to teach good values and good manners, to mold that child's character. So if a home is set up in this way, where the father is the protector, provider, he is the one who is trying to secure the well-being of his family, and he is assertive in doing so, he takes his responsibility, then he's leading the way. He's leading the way in doing right for his family. And then if the wife or the mother takes her responsibilities, then we should not have any argument about who's a leader and why you want to be the leader. Is it because you're the man and I'm the woman you want to take advantage of? No, these things shouldn't even be there for consideration, because it's simply each person, each entity within that home taking their roles and responsibilities seriously and carrying them out as they should. So that whole notion out there that, in a man taking his responsibilities is being and leading the way and being the leader for his family in goodness, that notion that, this is chauvinistic and it's all about male dominance, this is, something that is completely nonsensical. Society needs more men to take their responsibilities seriously, be assertive about it, be aggressive about it, take the lead in bringing goodness to your families. Take the lead in doing it. Don't shy away from these responsibilities because you fear that people will look at you. People will look at you and think that you're just like some sort of a bully over your family. No, you don't need to do that either. You don't need to establish yourself in the home, or I'm the man. Whatever I say goes. No, you don't have to be like this way. You have to lead by example. Lead your family in goodness. And a woman, as a woman, you should not think that, by my husband taking the lead and being assertive in bringing goodness to our family, that, in some way this is robbing me of my rights as a woman. No, you look at your roles and responsibilities and fulfill them, and let him also take his roles and responsibilities and fulfill them. In this way, we may be able to minimize, the amount of, or the evil effects of society with regards to, single parents and all of these things all these problems that are emerging from single parent homes. My dear friends, my time is up today, and once again, it's always not enough time for me to be here with you and to complete these these topics that I start. So hopefully next week, or as I say in Arabic, inshallah, God willing, next week we'll be able to complete this topic that I've started this week. And hopefully you tune into the Teachings of Islam next week, the same time, same place, so we can continue this wonderful journey of sharing knowledge and experiences, even though our ways of life may be different, or even though our religions may be different. A lot of my friends, especially in Forging God, you have been looking at this program. I want to thank you for actually being so open-minded and tuning into this program every single week. It means a lot to me, and it actually spells well, for our society, that we can actually, break certain barriers, and we could actually be so open-minded. So I want to thank you for tuning into this program once again, and I want to urge you to continue seeking knowledge. And as we say in the Arabic language, al-hikmatu dalatul mu'min, that wisdom and knowledge, they are the lost items of a true believer. حَيْثُ وَجَدَهَا أَخَذَهَا. And with this mentality, wherever you find knowledge, grab onto it. Don't, for a second think, oh, this is a Muslim speaking there, I don't want to hear what he has to say because he's a Muslim, I'm a Christian. Never think this way. Whatever you find as beneficial, wherever you find it, grab onto it, implement it in your life, and strive to be a better human being. Thank you once again, my dear friends, for tuning into the Teachings of Islam. I'm your host, Khalil Cave, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I pray and ask God Almighty that He keeps us safe until we meet again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, guidance, and blessings of God Almighty be with you.